Have you ever felt like you have tried everything to improve your English but nothing seems to work? You have practiced for hours, watched countless videos, and still when it's time to speak, the words just don't come out right. I have been there too, guys. I spent too much time and energy trying to improve my English but didn't see much progress. I felt frustrated and hopeless, thinking maybe I'm just not good enough. But one day I realized that the problem was not the effort I was putting in, it was the way I was approaching it. So, in this today's video, in this today's lesson, I'll share my story of struggling with English and how I finally found a path that worked for me. I'll give you a step-by-step guide so you don't waste your time and effort like I did. Trust me, guys, if you follow this path, you will start seeing real improvement in your English. So stay with me till the end. This might just change your English journey forever. So let me start by telling you about my own experiences because I have a lots of experiences and like many of you because I tried everything to improve my English. I watched English movies, read books, memorized vocabulary, and even practiced speaking in front of a mirror. But every time I tried to have a conversation, I would freeze. The words wouldn't come out and I would feel embarrassed. I remember one specific moment when I was talking to someone and I wanted to say I'm very excited, but instead I said I'm very excited. The person gave me a confused look. And I felt so ashamed that day. I thought to myself, why can't I speak properly even after all these efforts? The problem was that I was focusing on the wrong things. I was trying to learn English like a subject in a school instead of treating it like a skill that needs to be practiced differently. Now, for instance, I would like to give you one example over here. Like you remember when you were a kid trying to learn to ride a bicycle. You kept falling off, scraping your knees and getting frustrated. You thought, why can't I just get it? But eventually you realized that the only way to learn was to keep getting back on the bike and practicing, even if you were not perfect. Similarly with English, you can't expect to get everything right the first time. It's about practice, persistence and learning from your mistakes. Alright, so here one more example I would like to give to you. Imagine learning to swim. At first you are scared of water and no matter how much you read and hear instructions and you still can't swim until you actually get into the water and practice. You swallow water, frail your arms and sometimes feel like giving up. Learning English is the same thing. Watching videos and reading books won't help much unless you actively practice and speaking. Even if it feels uncomfortable or scary at first. Alright, so like if you are putting in a lot of efforts but not seeing results, here's why it might be happening. Because you are focusing too much on grammar sometimes. Because grammar is important, everybody knows. But if you keep worrying about every little rule while speaking, you will never speak fluently. It's okay to make small mistakes because the goal is to communicate, not to be perfect. Alright? You should communicate. You should not think that I'll be perfect. And number 2, you are not practicing English speaking. Because you are reading, you are listening and those things are great. But if you are not speaking regularly, you won't build confidence because speaking is a skill and you can only get better at it by actually doing it. And number 3, you are trying to memorize everything and that's the mistake because memorizing vocabulary list or phrases doesn't help much. Because you won't remember them when you need them. Instead, focus on understanding and using words naturally. Okay, number 4, you are not consistent. This is also a big problem of everyone, because learning English isn't something that you can do in 1 or 2 months. It takes time and regular practice. If you are inconsistent, you will lose momentum and progress slowly. Here I want to give you a small example. You plant a seed and water it every day, but it feels like nothing is happening. You start to lose patience, thinking the plant will never grow. Then one day you see a tiny sprout and all your effort suddenly feels like worth it. And this is same with English. Progress can feel slow, but small consistent effort eventually leads to big results. Alright? Now let me tell you what finally worked for me and can work for you too. So number 1, start small, focus on daily practices. Okay? Instead of speaking hours one day and nothing the next day. Okay, so I started practicing for just 15 to 20 minutes every single day. I followed the plan. So if you want English study plans, like I have created 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes study plans. So you can go through on my channel. There is a playlist, you can watch that. Okay, because consistency is more important than long hours of study. Alright, now I would like to share you one thing, because here you have to spend 5 minutes reading something simple. Then you have to spend 5 minutes listening to English. Either you can listen a podcast or you can, listen to the YouTube video. Then spend 5 minutes speaking about your day or your plans, because speaking is must. Okay. So now, guys, the biggest change happened when I stopped being afraid of making mistakes. I told myself it's okay if I'm not perfect. The important thing is that I'm trying. Alright? See, I started talking to myself in English. For example, if I was getting ready in the morning, I'd say, I'm brushing my teeth. Now, next, I'll have a breakfast. And it felt awkward at first, but it really helped me to improve my English. And guys, I would like to tell you one thing which is like maybe hits you. You are at a party and everyone is dancing. You want to join, but you are worried that your moves won't look good. The first step onto the dance floor is the hardest. But once you start, you forget about what others think and enjoy the moment. Right? Speaking English is just like that, because you might feel awkward at first. But the key is to start and let go for the fear of being judged. Okay? So, this is the thing. And number 3, learn in context. Instead of memorizing random words, I learned them in a sentences. For example, instead of just learning the word excited, I learned the full sentence. Like, I'm excited to meet my friends. Or I'm excited about the weekend. So, this made it easier to use the word naturally in conversations. Alright? And next thing, think in English. Because this is one of the biggest game changer for me, was learning to think in English. At first, it was difficult because I was used to thinking in my native language, that is Hindi, and then translating. But I started with simple thoughts like, well, what should I eat? Or what's the time? Slowly, it became a habit. And you should surround yourself with English. Because I changed the language of my phone and social media to English. I started watching English content every day. And even if it was just for like 10 to 15 minutes, the more I surrounded myself with English, the more confident I become with. Okay, so guys, don't waste time. Okay, don't waste time and follow all these things whatever I am sharing you in this video, because these are the things which gives you a quick fluency. All right, so number 1, stop being afraid of making mistakes. They are part of learning. Okay, always always think that they are the part of your learning. Okay, number 2, practice speaking every day, even if it's just to yourself. Number 3, learn words and phrases in context, not in isolation. Okay, now guys, I would like to give you one example. Imagine starting a 1,000-piece puzzle. At first it look overwhelming and you don't know where to begin, but as you find the corner pieces and connect them bit by bit, the picture starts to make sense. Learning English is like a building puzzle. Each small pieces of vocabulary or grammar you learn brings you closer to the full picture. Alright, so think in English as much as you can, speak English as much as you can, and surround yourself with English as much as you can, because I know how frustrating it can be to feel like you are not making progress despite all your efforts. But I want you to remember this, guys, because you are not failing, you are learning, and every mistakes you make, every awkward moment you face is helping you to grow. Okay, so if I could improve my English by following this path, so can you? Don't waste time on methods that don't work. Focus on daily practice, consistency, and build your confidence step by step. So guys, I think this video will help you a lot. If you found it helpful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comment section if you have faced similar struggles and what steps you are going to take to improve your English. Alright, so guys, that's it for today's video, guys. And if you like this video, so give big thumbs up to this video and don't forget to share this video. And if you are new on my channel, please subscribe it. So thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.